Hi everyone, good evening. This is Srimathy Rengarajan from Expertise Immigration. Today in this Facebook Live webinar, we are going to see so where to begin if you want to study in Canada. So what is the first step and what are the things you should know, which college should take, and how do we start our research process. So let's go begin. So first, let's see what are the top reasons to study in Canada. So we all know that the Canadian education is in a world-class standard, and then if we see the cost-wise, if you compare with UK, USA, and Australia and other top countries, top world-class education providing countries, the Canadian education is also valued the same, and the cost is also more or less the same. So it's better to choose like either one of the country. But why Canada? Why especially Canada? There are other factors which is involved to choose Canada, because Canada is basically, it's a multicultural society, and Canadian government value multiculturalism. They are totally against the racism and everything. So they value each and every culture. They value each and every cultural type of people. So that's most important thing. So when you come here, when you live with your family and your children, and you will be treated equally, just like Canadians who are born here and the permanent residents who are already staying here. So that's one of the major factor why you need to choose Canada. And the second thing, why you need to go, why you need to study in Canada. If we see, you will be able to work when you're studying here, and even after completing your studies, you will be able to get a post-graduation open work permit. So those things are contributing a lot when you come here to a new country. How it works. For example, if you are a student here and you come and study full time, and you will be able to work part time. And next is, once you complete your studies, government will award you an open work permit, which will help you to work in Canada full time with any employer, and you can make you can make a pathway to become a permanent resident here. So those things contribute a lot when you come and study here in Canada. So, and apart from that, there are other benefits that like many people will ask. So if I am coming to if I am coming to Canada for studies to complete my master's degree, so what will happen to my family? Can my family come here? Yeah, of course they can come here as a visitor. And apart from that, your spouse will also eligible to get an open work permit. And if your children are going school aged children, if they are like studying in India and somewhere else, they can come here, and they can also join here in Canadian school. And another best part is, until grade 12 the education is free here. So obviously you're not going to leave your family behind in your home country. You're going to bring your family with you. So this is going to be a new experience. Will be a definitely like economically and culturally, you're going to bring the same value what you're bringing from your home country, and you will feel the same how you live in the home country. And the other important thing is, not many countries has a permanent residency option after you study or work in certain countries. And even if they have a permanent residency option, not many countries' permanent residency options are very easy to apply. But Canada value immigrants. Canada needs immigrants. So Canada has some very, I would say easy, but that can be achievable. It can be worked out. So we have a lot of pathway. Even in the month of May, just a month ago, May 6th, they announced a program called a TR to PR pathway. TR means temporary resident. Student is also a temporary resident. So how you can transit yourself, how you can, you know, convert your study, convert your temporary residency to permanent residency. There are some wonderful programs. It's announced by Canada, and moreover, they are also planning to have. They are also planning to arrange some other good pathway to become PR. So definitely, it's a good choice. If you want to come to Canada, if you especially want, if you choose the country Canada to study. Study here, you know, like it doesn't matter, you know, like there are few candidates, they will come, they complete their 12th grade, and then they want to complete, they want to do their bachelor's degree. Or there are few candidates, you know, they would like to, I completed my bachelor's and I want to do my master's degree. And there are a few other candidates, like, you know, like I don't have sufficient points in the express entry, but I completed my bachelor's, but I would love to do my master's degree. I would like to pursue something, and I want to, you know, do something in my career. I want to grow my potential to, you know, like earn more money. So for those people, I would say Canada is the best choice. You can move forward. And let's see, you know, like what are the other benefits and how we can move step by step. Okay, and so what steps are involved in study permits? So just like, you know, like other educational programs. So first you will first apply for the admission. So admission, you have to apply to any Canadian college, university or school, and once they confirm your admission, you have to pay the tuition fee. Some students pay the full tuition fee if they are going through the SDS stream. SDS is something, it's one of the visa stream. It's given for the fast processing, quick processing, student direct stream. If somebody is going on a student direct stream, they can go ahead and pay the first year tuition fee in full, or they can even pay the deposit and they can hold the spot. And once you hold the spot, and the second step is going to be prepare all the documents and apply for your visa. Visa is the one which will enable you to travel to Canada. So basically you have two steps involved in this. So one is you have to apply for admission, and the second one is apply for your student visa. So Expertise Immigration will help you in both process. They will help you to get an admission from the Canadian college or university or from school. And also we will also be, I am the ICCRC regulated Canadian immigration consultant. So I will be able to help you with your study visa application. In fact, we are, you know, like we have a lot of experiences handling many visa refused cases. So we can help you better. Okay, let's go step by step. As we said, the first step is going to be applying for admission. So what we need to do, where we need to apply, and what are the benefits and what are the risk factors we have to keep in mind. Let's go ahead and see one by one now. Okay, so first, you know, like Canada has many universities, colleges, and school, but not all universities, not all colleges or schools can host international students. They cannot give admission to international students. If some college has to give international admission to international student, that's called DLI. So we need to remember a few, you know, acronyms in order for us to be safely come to Canada on a study permit, because there are a lot of risk factors here, and know there are a lot of you know, non-regulated people, you know, they are not even consultants, and they are just educational consultants. There are a few educational consultants over there, and maybe they're not so well aware of Canadian policies and rules. So we, as you know, like we are the one as a student, and as we have to take care of ourselves. So we should have the knowledge, and we should be aware of going through the things. So the first thing you should remember is you have to get the admission from a DLI. DLI, how do you find it is a DLI? So most Canadian websites, they use a keyword find, and if you want to find what is a DLI, just please go on the web search, find DLI, find space DLI, then it'll give you a list. So I just put a small screenshot on the screen so you can see this is how it looks. So you click on it, and then like it'll go to a search. Then it'll ask you to choose the province. Province is nothing but state, what we call in state in India and USA, just like Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Punjab, just like that. So it's a state. It's in Canada we call it as province. So you choose the province, and if any consultant is giving you admission on any particular university or college, just put the name on it and it will show. If it shows, then that's DLI. If it doesn't show, then that is not DLI. So that's the first place you're going to stop. So you cannot get admission there. Don't pay any tuition fee, and they may cheat you. So be aware of it. And then once you choose a DLI, and then what you're supposed to know. And the next thing you should be aware of, in Canada, there are so many types of institution, but I don't want to go in deep about what are the types and what is secondary, post-secondary, primary. I don't want to go all those things. I just want to give you some clarification and an immigration point of view. So why it matters if you select a public institution or if you choose the private institution, what difference it makes, and how important it is you to know why you need to go for a public or a private institution. Say for example, so you choose a college and you choose a program. If that determines whether you can work in Canada when you're studying, and if you cannot bring your spouse, or you cannot bring your spouse, or if it determines that, whether do you get a work permit after you complete your studies. Nobody wants to go back after they complete their studies. They don't want to go back. They want to at least stay in Canada during the work permit period and earn money and earn valuable international experience before they go back to their home country, if they don't want to apply for permanent residency, right? So if something is going to determine these factors, then we should definitely know about it. So what is that? That's nothing but, you need to know whether it is a public or private institution. So public institution is something, all the public institution, whatever the course you study more than 8 months, you will get the postgraduate work permit. And if you study any course after more than 6 months, then you will be able to work when you're studying, when it comes to public institution. But when it comes to private institution, government did not allow all the programs, whether you can, regardless it is a certificate program or it's a 2 months program or 6 months program, it's a 3-year program. They did not allow all the program to make you eligible to get a postgraduate work permit or bring your spouse here in Canada. So those things matters a lot. So private institutions, so you need to be aware. Public institution, all the programs are eligible to get the postgraduate work permit, and all the programs, so you can bring your spouse here when you're studying. Spouse means husband, wife. So when you're studying here, you can bring your spouse here. They are allowed to get the open work permit. So you will not have danger in all these area when you choose a public institution. But when you choose a private institution, you should know whether it, is it an eligible program for a postgraduate work permit or not. Let's see how to find out. So as I said before, use the keyword find, but here you don't need to do a separate search, because in the same search where we search the DLI, we can find the answer for this question. So if you see, like I have put two different screenshots here. One example is given for the public institution, and the other one is for the private institution which offers postgraduate work permit eligible programs. Okay, so let's see the first one on top, on the left top, which is the UBC. It's a very well-known university in British Columbia, and it's one of the top universities, like well-known universities all over the world. Okay, so which offers the last one, when you see the circle, it shows that offers PGWP eligible programs. Again, there is another acronym. PGWP is nothing but postgraduate work permit. So after completing your graduation, after completing your studies, whatever is the work permit you get it, that's called postgraduate work permit. Okay, so it says yes. So whatever you study in UBC, if it's like if it meets the other criteria of postgraduate program, yes, of course you will be able to get the work permit. So this is an eligible program. So whereas if you see another university, it's called NYIT. This is also a very good college in Vancouver, and so that this one offers very few programs which are eligible for postgraduate open work permit. So that's why if you see the circle inside, I have also mentioned details. Beside the word yes, there is also another link given, details. So if you click on the details, then it will show what programs are eligible. Let's see in the next screen. See? So you are eligible for a postgraduate work permit if you complete one of these degrees. So if you study anything other than this, in this college, you're not eligible to get the postgraduate work permit. Now let's see, there are a few private institutions which are not at all eligible to give you postgraduate open work permit. So you can see in this example, so it says no, simply it says no, offers postgraduate eligible programs, no. So this particular college, if somebody is intended to stay after your studies and work here in Canada, or if you want to bring your wife or husband when you're studying here and you want to bring them on open work permit, then you should not choose this course. And another important thing is, I will come to this point in the later part. So what are the requirements to apply for admission? So one of the major requirement is a language requirement. You need to write any language, approved, accepted language test. The most common one is IELTS academic. Okay, so these colleges, there are a few colleges, they will accept, like even if you don't have IELTS, that's okay, we'll give you admission. So people will think that's the easy way, that's a shortcut. Let's not, work hard on IELTS. Just go for it and get the admission, apply for visa, and you may even get approval for visa, but after you come to Canada, you will suffer a lot. And then you will realize, oh my God, I choose some program which I'm not going to get any open work permit after my studies, or like my family is left behind in India. So you will have a lot of challenges after you come to Canada. So instead, know all these things before you come to Canada. So these colleges may say, we don't want IELTS, or we are okay with even if you get 5 points, 4 points, that's okay. We will give you admission, but still, it's not safe for you. It's not good for you. Okay, so I hope you understand what is DLI, what is private college, public college, how that matters, and why it is so important to know. Now let's see what are the other important things when you come to Canada. What are the other things? What are the other good surprises, bad surprises you can expect? So the other one is, as I said before, so I used the word very frequently, I used the term very frequently, which is postgraduate work permit, postgraduate work permit. So that's one work permit, that is one work authorization given after your studies. But there are other authorizations which allow you to work when you are studying in Canada. So even this private and public institutions matters a lot. So you can work when you're studying. You can work inside the campus. Campus means inside the school building, the college building where you're studying, and you can work in the library or in the coffee shop, or you can work as a research assistant or something. You can work on campus, or you can even work outside the building. That is, you can work outside, but you're allowed to work 20 hours per week. That is a part-time. And in addition, you can work full-time when you have a scheduled break in the sense, not on Saturday, Sunday. Scheduled break in the sense the summer holidays and the winter holidays, something like that. And if the government wants to offer some specific exemption based on the public policy or something, so then you're allowed to work full time. So why you're not allowed to work, like some students may ask me question, why I'm not allowed to work full time? Because you're a full time student here, because here the study is a little bit different. We will talk about that. One of our candidate, he even asked this question. We will go in detail about it at the end when we have the question and answer session. So here you need to dedicate your time full time for your studies. So that's why government made a good plan for you. So you should not compromise on your studies. So you're allowed to work part time. And post completing your studies, you are allowed to work full time. So there is some, like how long the post graduation work permit is there. So that your length of your program determines the length of your work permit. If somebody study less than 8 months, they will not get the postgraduate work permit. And if somebody studied more than 8 months and less than 2 years, then they will get the same equal amount of post-graduation work permit. If your course is 1 year long, you will get 1 year long post-graduation work permit. And if your course is 2 years long or more than 2 years, if somebody comes here, study Bachelor of Nursing for 4 years, and they will get 3 years open work permit. The maximum length of the post-graduation work permit is 3 years, and it's awarded only once in the lifetime. So if some student come here, they study for 1 year, and then they get the work permit for 1 year, and if they later they decide, oh, 1 year not sufficient for me to, prepare myself for permanent residency, let me take another course after the postgraduate work permit and then go for it, then it won't happen because it is awarded once in a lifetime. So if you want to make use of this opportunity and you want to get the maximum length of postgraduate work permit for 3 years, we will suggest you to take a 2-year program or 2 1-year program, something like that. So the cumulative period, the length of your program, if it's 2 years or more, then you will get the maximum benefit of 3 years open work permit. Hope I'm clear here. And yeah, so again, one more time. So the post-graduation open work permit, like many students, they suffer, they will not be able to bring their family because of the wrong college and the wrong course selection. Please make sure you pay much more attention. Of course, if you're hiring expertise immigration to choose apply for your admission, we will definitely give you all these insight. And if you're going outside, then it's your responsibility. Go ahead and research, because I gave you some valuable inputs now. Go ahead and research, and then don't fall into any trap. Next, so this is a very important question. So if I am saying somebody, if you want to study, so the first question is, ma'am, how much it will cost? So let's talk about the cost. So how much it will cost? I don't want to go for the language school, how much it will cost and all those things you can look from the screen. But apart from that, I would majorly, I will say, you will have minimum $15,000 the first year tuition fee, or $18,000. Minimum $15,000 to $18,000 would be the minimum tuition fee for the first year. And moreover, like the first year tuition fee is, there is no, most colleges will not have a set tuition fee. It based on the course you choose, and they will determine the tuition fee. And the number of courses, they will also have, like a cutoff number. In order to be qualified for a full-time student, you must select this many number of courses in each semester, and based on that 1 year into number of courses, and multiplied by the amount for each courses, so it will go in a range minimum $15,000. So you can expect the first year tuition fee as $15,000. And plus you also should have the living expenses. So if somebody wants to come to Canada, so I would say arrange your first year tuition fee, which is $15,000 to $18,000, plus another $10,000 your living expenses. Okay, so how you can manage the living expenses? So how do I how do I show the documentation? So Canada has made another plan for arranging your living expenses. It's called GIC. It's a Guaranteed Investment Certificate. It's nothing but you're going to open a bank account in Canada. It's a Canadian bank account, and you'll deposit $10,000 into that for your living expenses. So before you apply for your visa, before you apply for your visa, so you will go ahead and deposit this $10,000 in the bank account, and the bank will give you around $2,000 as soon you come to Canada. You come to Canada, they'll pay you $2,000, and the rest of the money will be given in the equal installments for the next 1 year, or for next 8 months or 10 months, based on the bank's arrangement they will give you. So the crux, the point is, this money you're investing for your living expense, and you will get the money back in the equal installments. However the bank is arranged, like there are a few banks, they do the GIC for international students, and Scotia Bank, CIBC, and there are so many banks. So you can inquire the bank based on their policy. You can inquire, and which one is suitable to you, you can go for it. So want to give you one more time about the expenses. So first tuition fee may be $15,000 to $18,000 plus another $10,000. That should be there when you apply for your visa. So I would say, even when you apply for the admission, you should prepare yourself, prepare your funds. At least you should be ready with your funds. There are a few students, they will apply for student loan, because the best thing about the student loan is, my students gave me feedback that the first 3 years they will not pay the interest. They will not pay the full the installment. They'll just pay the interest. For example, they'll pay something $2,000 or $3,000 or less than that money, and plus after 3 years, after completing their studies, most banks give you 2 years or 3 years period. After that 2-3 years cooling period, you can start. They will start the installments of your student loan, whatever is your the period, the total number of years you choose, 3 years or 5 years or 10 years. Based on that, you will pay the real installments after 2-3 years. So isn't it not so beautiful? Isn't it not so convenient for students that until they are studying, they can only work for part-time, right? They will not be able to work full-time, and they cannot make more money. So but after the studies are over, you will be able to work full-time, and you will get the capacity to repay the loan, right? You'll get the capacity to pay the full installment. So isn't it a beautiful thing? So try for the student loan if you are able to do it. So that's all about the fees. And many students wants to know about scholarship, and do I get a scholarship in Canada, in the universities? So basically the scholarship is mostly it's given on the merit based. and so each college and university, they will have a different policy for scholarship. So once you get the admission, then you will be get connected to the student counselor or your coordinator from the college or university. You can get better idea from them, discuss with them about this, and if you're really a good student, capable student, then definitely you may get a lot of scholarship or bursaries, whatever it is. But don't go victim again of the scholarship. And there are a few colleges, they will say, we will give you $5,000 money back when you get admission from us. And usually the college fees for the same course, if you go outside in the same area or in another province, if you see, the fees will be 18,000 rupees, $18,000, 15 to $18,000. But this college, they may ask for $25,000 and they are going to give you 5,000 money back for the first year. It's all just marketing, so be aware of it. Okay, so this is all, and I have added few links here, and you can go through and you can learn more about the scholarships. And next, let's see. So finally we are coming into the end of this admission session. So admission stage, so what are the other things you need to know? What are the intakes, like when we can join in the universities? Mostly we will have September intake and January intake. So September and January are the biggest intake, number of students will be more, and few colleges, few universities, they also have another intake, May intake. Normally the May intake will be, they will accept less number of students. So if you're aiming, like I would, you can go for any intake, there is no difference in it, but the number of, if there is any very very great course or program, and which will have a lot of competition, it'll be best to apply in September or January intake, so you will have a lot of spots available. So you may have better chance to get the admission. So, and then when we need to apply for admission, say for example you want to aim for September, or say you're aiming for September intake, and I would appreciate you start your process, get ready all your documents at least well before 6 months. Okay, so make sure you prepare all the documents for the admission at least in the month of February or March. And there are a few big universities and colleges. They, if you are going to join in September, they'll end their process. They will close the admission intake by January. So you need to, if you are aiming for good universities or colleges, you should go to the university website, college website, and you should be continuously monitoring which is the deadline for sending admission and everything. And don't think that you send a half of the application, and then after we send the application, we send the IELTS report or something else, then they may not accept you. They will not process until your application is complete. So prepare all the documents ahead. Look for the requirements. That's most important. Look for the requirement. Suppose you apply for an MBA course or some other master course. Few colleges will need 4 years bachelor's. There are few colleges they need 3 years bachelor's, and few colleges will need 4-year bachelor plus 5 years experience. So just look for the requirement, read the requirements carefully. If you're hiring any educational consultant or immigration consultant, it's your responsibility that you should also go through each and every step of this admission process. So I would say go ahead and read all the requirements. And mostly the common requirements will be, for masters, you should complete a bachelor's. And when we see, another important requirement is your language ability. So you're coming to a country, it's English first speaking, our first language is English, so English speaking country, so they expect you come here, the studies, the medium of education will be English or French, so you should commonly we will say English as you must have the language ability. How do you prove it? IELTS academic is the common one which all the colleges accept and which will be used even for the visa application process. We'll use it for the admission. We'll use the same IELTS report even when we apply for stage 2 visa application. So why? Like some colleges may accept Duolingo, and some colleges may even accept, sometimes they will say, okay, expired IELTS is fine, but when it comes to visa, they in visa application they majorly focus on IELTS. So either IELTS academic or general IELTS general. So you don't need to take two different tests, one for admission, one for visa. So it'll be better, which is commonly accepted, is the IELTS. So take IELTS academic, and most colleges prefer you to take 6.5 average and no band less than 6 in individual area of IELTS. And other than that, pretty much your passport, educational documents, your resume, and letter of recommendation from your college or university. And there will be a minor fees involved in it for the application fee, and it will be range from $50 to $100. And if it's a very a big university and like a very rare course, then it may even go up to $250 or $300 application fees. Right, and I hope I'm clear in this admission process. So once you prepare all your documents, then you can apply for admission. So once you apply for the admission, and usually the colleges, universities, they take a minimum 2 weeks to 2 months time, and then they will provide you the letter of acceptance. They will say, please go ahead and book your spot, pay the tuition fee or pay this deposit, and then your spot is confirmed. So that's what we are going to do for our study visa. When we apply for study visa, we should have paid, and we should have the complete letter of acceptance. And then I don't want to, like each visa application, each application will have their own merits and demerits. So I really don't want to go so deep on the document checklist, what you're supposed to do, what are the documents you need to add, and I don't want to go deep on that, because it's tailored based on each student's profile, each student's their own merits. Like there are some students, they would have newly completed their studies and they're just jumping to take master's degree or bachelor's degree in Canada. So their document checklist is completely different. The other one might have worked for a few years and they want to come, and there are few, like they would have worked in altogether a different field. And like one of my candidates, she said, I worked in IT for 10 years, and now I want to go, I'm very passionate to take care of children, and I want to go learn something about babysitting, and I want to go and open my own daycare, and I want to spend the rest of my life with children. So each application is different. So let's not go deep into that. The document checklist session of visa processing. Instead, what is most important thing, rather than going and thinking about the document checklist, the most important thing is who you choose and how you choose. Right? Who is the representative? Who is the who can represent your visa application? Who can help you to prepare your visa application? Who can give a consultation? Who can talk about it? Right? Like if you have some fever or pain, who is the best person to ask? Yes, of course, your mom is the best person. However, the best professional is the doctor. So just go and consult a doctor. So the same thing. So if you want to apply for visa, if you want to know anything about visa, the best person are the authorized representative. So who can be the authorized representative? So just go through the list in the screen. Immigration consultant, who are the good standing member of ICCRC, and the Canadian lawyers and paralegals who were the members of Canadian Provincial Law Society or something, and then there are some notary publics who are authorized in Quebec, and so these people are the only ones who can be your paid representative. And especially I gave you another link at the bottom, and you can see, like how to find whether your immigration consultant um, is a registered professional or not, is a regulated professional or not. In Canada, uh, many occupations are regulated occupations. Regulated occupations means that will be the occupation will be given by a particular society, a particular institution. So there is one such institution for immigration consultants. There is one and only one institution. So that's called ICCRC. So they are the one who is monitoring the activities of immigration consultants. Why you need to choose this representative? Why not you go and hire any like any educational consultants or anyone else who is not an immigration consultant? That's up to you, but there are a lot of risks associated with that. And if you pay, like there is no guarantee that like your money is your money is secured. But here, if you pay to the ICCRC consultants, and even if something goes wrong in the future, then you have a right to complain in ICCRC. You can go ahead and complain to ICCRC. So ICCRC is designed basically to protect your rights, to protect your money. And if the consultant promised to do something, then they have to do that. They have to work on that. If you're paying for your work permit or study permit or your PR application, and if they didn't do their right job in the right fashion, then you have rights to go ahead and complain to ICCRC and secure your rights. So that's the one of the major reason why we have to go ahead and choose the authorized representative. And one more thing again, that many candidates ask me this question when they are trying to sign up in the final stage. Srimathy, can you give me guarantee for the outcome? No immigration professional can or allowed to give a guarantee for the outcome. So I cannot promise you that I will give you 100% study permit approved, but based on our best practice, if we know that like how this application goes, then they can say, don't worry, this will be okay if all your documents and if your file is complete and if it's meeting all the requirements, if there is no issues, then of course like we can provide a sort of guarantee when out of our best practice, out of our knowledge and the experience what we gain. But other than that, no immigration consultant and no professional can give you 100% guarantee for the outcome. If somebody is giving you 100% guarantee for the outcome, then again, be aware. So hopefully you choose the right consultant, and if you choose the right person, then part of your like most part of your immigration paperwork is, you can say like you did a good job. All right, and now let's see what are the do's and what are the don'ts you can do when you do the study visa application. So not only in study visa application, normally in all the visa and all the immigration applications, we always say never misrepresent, because the punishment, the penalty is huge. You will be banned for 5 years. Okay, and what is misrepresentation? So it can be like if you hide some information, or if you like wrongly include any information, so that's called misrepresentation. So like few educational consultants may say put some lot of employment records, the wrong employment records, create some fake payslip, create some fake letters or anything. So that's a misrepresentation. So, somebody would have advised, like, I have already completed master's degree, Srimathy. So when my consultant said, don't show your master's degree here, just show your bachelor's and get a master's MBA here. So that's again a misrepresentation. So your record will be there in your immigration file. So when there is some another term called UCI. It's called Unique Client Identifier. That is, it's a number. So as soon you send a visa application to Canadian immigration, they'll create a number for your, Srimathy Rengarajan. For Srimathy Rengarajan, there will be a number. There will be UCA number. So all my immigration file will be linked with this UCA number. So if you go ahead and apply one more immigration file, and if you say something else, then they will simply compare. They'll pull your record using the UCA, and they can check your previous record. So then you will be in trouble. So never ever misrepresent. Even your education consultant or someone else advise you to do so. That's not allowed. Okay, and don't, no information is considered as silly. So that's another important thing. So there are a few people, oh, I didn't read this question. So, but your responsibility to read all the questions in the application form. The application form is a very simple one. It's a 4-page or 5-page long form. However, each and every detail is very, very important. So don't think your visa application easily. And if you're a detailed person, you can do it on your own. But if you want a help, please hire a authorized representative and go ahead and proceed with your application. So they have knowledge, and they have studied for it, the specialist for it, and they know what they're doing, and they will guide you in a better way. Okay, but still it is your responsibility. So you read all the questions very carefully and answer. And the other thing which I want to say is, there are a few candidates, they will say, um, they would have completed engineering or something, and they want to come to Canada. They want to study. I want to study something in Canada, Srimathy, and I want to get an admission, and their IELTS would be very, very low, and I would say, please go ahead and retake the IELTS and come back. They'll go to some of the education consultant, and they'll say, okay, I'll get you admission in a hotel management. How can you relate yourself? You're an engineer, and you're working as an engineer for 5-6 years, and now you're switching to another, totally altogether a different career. So what is they are choosing the career. It's not because that the career is their passion. It's because they are choosing the career because they are not meeting the requirements of the engineering post-graduation certificate or program. So in this way, if you choose, if your course or if your program, whatever you're going to take, if it's not directly aligned with your past education and experience, then the officer may think that you are not a genuine student, and your intention is not to be a student. Your intention is to come to Canada somehow. So you may have chances of refusal will be more. So that's why I always advise, make sure your past, present, and the future course and everything is in a proper alignment. If it's not aligned, of course you have a rights to go for choose another career. Then you should substantially explain it. It is your responsibility that you explain to the officer in a very good manner, in a very detailed manner, that why you are choosing a different course. It's not because that you're not meeting the requirements. It's because that's your passion. That's the way you want to proceed your life. You want to move your career forward, right? So those things are also very important. When you choose the course, you should keep all these things in mind, right? So these things should be taken care in the stage 1 and not after you receive the visa. And after you receive the visa, and they will say, okay, let's change the course, and then we will get a visa approval. So that is also another foolish step you take. Please please be alert and research more about what course you're going to take, how it is, how it matters, how you will empower your future, how you will get the benefit when you do this course, how it is beneficiary for your future. So look for those details. So that's another important thing when you choose the course. And other than that, as I said, like prepare all the documents before 6 months, at least before 6 months, and prepare all the documents. And there is one another document we used to attach in the visa application. Sometimes even the college and the university wants that statement of purpose. What is a statement of purpose? What is your intention? What is a letter of intention? Why you want to study in Canada? Why Canada? And how that course benefits and all those things. And many students, they used to copy from like a web, but do not copy from web. Okay, it's your life, it's your choice, and you can better explain. So you will be the best person to explain, and you write it. And if you hired any immigration consultant or education consultant, of course they will give their insights, they will shape up the letter. Okay, so these are the some important tips you need to keep in mind when you do your immigration file. And if you hire expertise immigration, how we can help you? We can help you in both process, and stage 1 in admission process, and as well in the visa process. And especially, we are expert in handling all refusal cases. And if you have previous refusal, please book a consultation with us, and we can find out what's the reason for refusal, and we can find a good remedy for you. All right, and thank you so much for watching. And finally, and if you have so we can discuss about some questions, even some of our prospect candidates, they send some WhatsApp questions to me. I will go through that. But before we discuss about the questions, and I will request you, all the students or whoever watching now, and if you have any questions, please do not give any case specific information or your personal information. Do not share anything over here due to your privacy. And if you have any case specific questions, I would appreciate you book a consultation and come and directly speak with me, not in the social media, not here, because this is going to be published in the Facebook and in Twitter and YouTube. So I would appreciate to not share your personal information here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. So now I have few questions. Let me go through the questions with you. So give me one quick minute. Let me go through the questions with you. Okay, 1 second. All right, this question number 1. Kannan from Chennai, he asked a question here. I studied my bachelor's degree in India and wondering how the education system will be in Canada. So good question. So of course you will have a lot of positives and negatives. And the positives, if I say, the Canada is not going behind too much ranking system. First of all, marking system. So the rank and the mark, how it is done. So they will have like weekly assignments, daily assignments. So it's based on the weekly and daily assignments, your attendance, and like if you have if you have done your final exam, and based on all these things, the mark will be awarded. So the positive is it is not just the final exams matters a lot. And if you're actively pursuing the studies, then of course Canada values that, and you'll get good marks at the end. But at the same time, if somebody wants to open the book before 2 days of their exam and they want to complete the studies, then it will be really challenging for you. and especially when some international students are coming here, and some students, they forget that they are full-time students, workers only part-time. But what they normally do is, some students, what they do is, like they focus more on their work rather than focusing on the studies. Then it will be really challenging for you. So you need to spend time for your studies. So those are the positives and negatives. And apart from that, like here the student support is, it's really excellent, I would say. Like you have peer support, so you have mentorship in many colleges and universities, and apart from that, you'll have a lot of access to public libraries. And here the public libraries are amazing, seriously. Like when you come to Canada, you'll realize, like culture of using library is, like enforced even from the childhood, even from the little ones from 3 4, and they start reading books. And so library support is amazing here. And another one more thing is, like there are a few programs which comes with the work element on it, work component, co-op component. It'll be 2-year program. In the 2-year program, like there will be 3 months co-op. There are 3 months work component, 4 months work component. So that will also give you a lot of exposure in your domain to work for the Canadian employer, and you will know what is expected norm here, right? So that's another plus. So definitely, like there you will have some challenges when you're coming to a new country, of course, but there are a lot of positives if you're seriously intended to study here, and if you're coming here to study, if you're a good student, then definitely it's not a big deal for you. Yeah, you will really enjoy it. And other questions. This is not actually directly associated with study permit, but however, like the question is, I have a 4-wheeler license from India. How does it work in Canada? So this is another question. And the surprising fact is, like yesterday I spoke to a student, and I came to know that when you come here with a 4-wheeler license from other countries, as a student, I think, like you can drive with the same license until your study permit is valid. And there are a few other minor requirements, not like others. There are only minor requirements, but you can use the same license. That's amazing, right? That's a great advantage for the students, right? That's great. And but they also said the insurance for the 4-wheeler license, it will vary. You can take the license here in Canadian license. The Canadian license insurance amount will be a little different, a little more for if you're using the foreign license. And the second thing, they asked a question about, please discuss about the medical coverage. Good question. Okay, so like one another important factor why you want to choose Canada, why you choose Canada is another thing, is the medical. So here you have the public medical coverage. In most, medical is actually a provincial responsibility, and the provincial, each province will have their own system. But however, the most commonly it is free, and or it will be very minimum amount, and you will have all your doctor visits, specialist appointments, surgery, pregnancy, everything is covered in this medical. And as a student, when you come here, maybe you will have some waiting period of 3 months or something, I think, and then you will have the medical coverage, the public medical coverage. And within that 3 months, usually the colleges cover those period. The colleges or the universities, they will actually, when they charge the first tuition, they will charge the first tuition fee. They will also charge for the medical insurance, I think, for until the period when your public coverage starts. So the fourth question. Can I get a part-time job in Canada? How long it will take? Yeah, of course you will get part-time jobs in Canada. Of course, yes. Mostly all the students, they get part-time job. But how long it will take, that determines your effort. So you have, like it's an information world, and everybody is connected now. So if you're connected with your friends and students, and if you have some of the family members, then you can search more, you can do a better search. And normally people will first get a survival job, and once they make a little Canadian experience, then they can go for then they can try for their dream job. So this is how it works. But in one word, if I say yes, you can get part-time job in Canada. So, and yeah, so again, so if you choose a good work permit, if you choose a good program and the correct program in the college, then you will be allowed to work. Otherwise, you may not be allowed to work. So remember that, please. And the last question here, from which I had from the WhatsApp group, is I have Duolingo. Can I apply my visa? So as I said before, Duolingo can be accepted in the colleges or universities, but the Canadian immigration accepts widely. They accept IELTS, either academic or general. So or like there are a few others. Go through the Canada.ca website. Go always look the authenticated websites, CIC website, the Canada.ca website, and get the information. But Duolingo, I don't think it is accepted. And if you especially go for SDS, you should have a IELTS not less than 6 points. So you should have 6 in all areas. So IELTS is mandatory. And then now let me look some of the questions, if I have any, in the live sessions. Once again, any good engineering colleges? Sanjay, please contact us. We can definitely help you with good engineering college. My age is 43. Can I study in Canada? Okay, good question. So if your age is 43, why you want to study in Canada and what you want to study in Canada. So if we can explain it in a better way, we can convince the visa officer, yes, you can study. So what is the maximum mark for joining the college? What is the maximum mark for joining the college? Again, so this question, the answer for this question is what program you choose. So each program will have a basic requirement. Some course they want 70% pass, or some course they just want 55% marks or 60% mark. Even there are a few courses we can choose, like with the exact pass out, like if 35% is the pass out for that degree in India, and if somebody scored only 36%, even we got the admission for those people. However, your options are very limited. If your passing score is very less, then the option for getting admission from the college is limited, and as well the chances of refusal is also a little high, because it's very hard to explain the officer that you are a genuine student and you will be able to meet the challenges of the Canadian education. So in these cases, you should not do your application on your own. It will be better to have an expert advice how to present your visa application properly. Then the chances of approval will be high, and then you can actually get a better outcome. And Manigandan from Madurai, hello, hi. Hello, ma'am. Hello, hi. Okay, and hopefully the session will be very helpful to you. And if anybody has any questions, or if you want to talk to me, please feel free to contact me. This is my email address. It's on the screen, and the phone number, and our website is on the screen. And so I don't normally look all the Facebook messages. So if you want to get an immediate response, a fast response, it'll be best to contact me through the phone number, and I'm also available on WhatsApp. All right, and you can also book an appointment if you want to discuss about any refusals or anything, and if you want to discuss about any challenging applications, please book an appointment, and that way we can meet, and hopefully, the session is useful to you. And if you have more questions, please feel free to contact us. Thank you so much. Have a great day and a good weekend to all of you. If you're in Canada, enjoy the summer. If you're in India, be safe, get vaccinated, have fun. Bye bye.